My beloved child, I know why you are listening right now. There is a quiet question resting in your heart, one you may not speak aloud, but I hear it clearly. You wonder if there is something more for you, something set aside, something that has not yet reached your hands. You have watched others move ahead. You have waited through seasons that felt long and unanswered. And somewhere in the stillness, you have asked, is there truly something special for me, or have I been forgotten? Listen to me carefully. This moment is not random. These words are not drifting toward you by chance. I have drawn you here because I want you to know the truth, not the version shaped by disappointment or delay, but the truth shaped by my love. I have something special for you. Not someday in a distant dream, not as a vague promise meant to comfort you, but something real, intentional, and prepared with your name in mind. I see the way you try to stay strong when answers do not come. I see how you smile for others while carrying questions you do not know how to release. You have wondered if your life is quietly passing by while you wait for clarity, direction, or meaning. You have questioned whether your prayers reached me, or if they dissolved into silence. But my silence has never been absence, and your waiting has never been wasted. What I am preparing for you cannot be rushed, because it is tied not only to what you will receive, but to who you are becoming. You think the delay means you were overlooked, but the delay exists because what is coming requires depth, strength, and a heart that knows how to listen. I have been shaping you in ways you could not see while you were focused on what you lacked. There are moments you felt ordinary, even invisible. Moments you believed others were chosen for greater things while you were meant to simply endure. But I tell you now, being special does not always look like being noticed. Often, it looks like being trusted with quiet growth, unseen faithfulness, and inner transformation that prepares you for what cannot be sustained by surface strength alone. I know the disappointment you carry. I know the hope you were afraid to feel again. I know the prayers you stopped praying because you did not want to be hurt by hope. Yet even then, I remained close. I did not withdraw my hand from your life. I did not change my mind about you. What I have set apart for you hath been waiting for the right moment, not because you were unworthy before, but because timing matters when love is involved. So let your heart be still for a moment. Breathe. Release the belief that you are late, behind, or forgotten. You are exactly where you need to be to hear this truth. I am not teasing you with empty words. I am preparing to reveal what you could not carry before. This is the beginning of understanding. This is the moment I remind you that your story holds meaning, and your future holds something special, crafted by my hands, and held safely for you. My beloved child, before your first breath touched the air, before your name was spoken by human lips, I already knew you. Your life did not begin with chance or coincidence. You were not the result of random moments or overlooked decisions. You were imagined, desired, and formed with intention. I saw you long before the world could see you, and I called you good even before you understood what that meant. You have lived through moments that made you question your value. Times when rejection whispered that you were unnecessary. Seasons when failure tried to convince you that you were a mistake. But hear me clearly now. I do not create by accident. I do not form lives without purpose. Every detail of you carries meaning, even the parts you once wished were different. You wonder why your path has felt harder than others, why your heart feels deeper, more sensitive, more aware, why you carry questions others seem unbothered by. It is because I shape you with intention. Some are built to rush forward, and some are built to feel deeply. Some are formed to lead loudly, and some are formed to carry wisdom quietly. None are accidental. unforgotten. When you were younger, you may have compared yourself to others and felt behind. You may have looked at your life and wondered why it did not unfold the way you expected. But what you could not see then was my hand arranging your steps, even through detours and delays. I was protecting you from what you were not meant to carry, and guiding you toward what would one day make sense. You see your past as scattered pieces, but I see a pattern. I see how each experience taught you something essential. I see how every disappointment refined your discernment. I see how every closed door trained you to listen more closely to my voice. Nothing was wasted. Not your tears. Not your confusion. Not even your moments of doubt. You may feel ordinary when you look at yourself, but ordinary does not mean insignificant. Some of the most meaningful things grow quietly, unseen by the world. Roots form underground before branches ever reach the sky. Strength develops long before it is visible. And so it has been with you. While you were wondering if you mattered, I was strengthening what would one day support what I am bringing into your life. I know you have questioned whether you are enough, whether your faith is strong enough, whether your mistakes disqualified you. But I did not choose you because you were perfect. I chose you because I love you. I chose you because you are willing to keep going, even when you are unsure. I chose you because your heart, though wounded, still longs for truth, meaning, and connection. There is something special prepared for you, and it aligns perfectly with who you are, not who you pretend to be. You will not have to become someone else to receive it. You will not have to perform, compete, or prove yourself. What is coming will meet you where you are, and it will make sense because it was designed with you in mind. I want you to release the belief that you were born into the wrong story. You are exactly where you are meant to be, at exactly the right moment to hear this truth. Your life is not an afterthought. Your presence here matters. Your journey carries purpose beyond what you can currently see. So rest in this assurance. You were never an accident. You were never overlooked. You were never a mistake that needed correction. You are a deliberate creation, deeply known and deeply loved. And as this story unfolds, you will begin to see that everything about you, even the parts you once questioned, has been preparing you for what I have lovingly set aside for you. My beloved child, there are things I do quietly, far from applause and far from notice, and this is where much of my work in you has taken place. While you were asking why nothing seemed to change on the outside, I was shaping everything on the inside. You thought you were standing still, but you were being prepared. You thought you were delayed, but you were being strengthened. Preparation often feels like nothing is happening, yet it is one of the most sacred processes I allow my children to walk through. I know there were days you felt forgotten. Days you believed others were moving ahead while you were left behind with questions and unfinished prayers. But what you could not see was how carefully I was teaching you discernment, patience, and depth. I was not only preparing what I will give you, I was preparing you for it. Some blessings collapse a heart that has not been made ready. Some callings overwhelm a spirit that has not been grounded in truth. I was guarding you, even when it felt like I was withholding. You have walked through moments that stretched your faith, moments where trusting me felt harder than walking away, and yet you stayed. Even when you doubted, you still hoped. Even when you were tired, you still listened. That is not weakness. That is evidence of growth. I have been training your heart to recognize my voice above the noise, so that when the time comes, you will not be confused by distractions or counterfeit doors. There were lessons you could only learn through waiting, compassion that could only be formed through pain, wisdom that could only grow through disappointment. You may wish those seasons had passed faster, but if they had, you would not carry the depth you now possess. you would not see with the clarity you are beginning to develop. I was not slow. I was precise. You are closer than you realize. The preparation season always feels longest just before it ends. What I am bringing into your life will not ask you to rush or strive. It will feel aligned, steady, and peaceful, because it will meet the version of you that has been refined through trust. And when it arrives, you will understand why it could not come sooner. If these words are reaching you deeply, it is because your spirit recognizes truth. And if this message is bringing clarity to your heart, I ask you to respond in a way that allows it to reach others. Bless this message with a like if it has spoken to you. Share it with those who feel forgotten or overlooked. And I invite you to hype this video, so it can move through the world and reach hearts that are quietly waiting for reassurance, just like you once were. When you engage, you are not supporting a video. You are helping hope travel further. Now remain still with me for a moment. Let go of the pressure to figure everything out. Trust that what you have lived through has not been wasted. I have been preparing you with care, intention, and love. And what is coming will meet you not as a surprise, but as a fulfillment of everything I have been doing within you all along. My beloved child, as these words settle into your spirit, I speak to you not only as a listener, but as a partner in this sacred work. Every seed sown through your support becomes light for someone who is still walking in the dark. I am the one who says, "What you place in my hands, I multiply beyond what you can see." This message exists so wandering hearts can find rest, and your giving becomes a river that carries my voice to them. I am stirring you now because this moment is not ordinary. It is obedience. When you give through Super Thanks membership, or the PayPal link placed in the description and shown by QR code, you are answering my call to spread hope. I bless what you release, and I command you now, step forward and sow, for the harvest will speak for itself. My beloved child, there is something within you that you have underestimated for far too long. You have looked at yourself through the lens of comparison and wondered why you do not fit easily into the spaces around you. You have questioned why your heart feels deeper, why you notice what others overlook, why you feel things more intensely. But what you have called a burden is often the mark of rarity. What you have tried to silence is often the very thing I placed within you on purpose. Rarity is not loud. It does not announce itself. It often lives quietly, misunderstood, and sometimes lonely. Rare things are not mass-produced, and neither were you. You were formed with intention, layered with depth, and given the ability to perceive, endure, and love in ways that are uncommon. That is why your journey has felt different. That is why you have felt out of place at times. You were never meant to blend in by losing yourself. You may have spent years trying to shrink what you carry so you could belong. You may have learned to soften your voice, hide your compassion, or downplay your insight because it felt safer. But I see the cost of that hiding. I see how it drained you. I see how it made you doubt yourself. I never asked you to become less. I asked you to become true. What you carry is not fragile, though it may feel tender. It is strong because it has survived misunderstanding, rejection, and delay. It has been refined through patience and sharpened through experience. Some hearts are built to feel deeply because they are meant to heal deeply. Some minds are wired to question because they are meant to bring clarity. Some spirits are sensitive because they are meant to recognize what others miss. You once thought your sensitivity was weakness. You thought your empathy made life harder than it needed to be. But I tell you now, your sensitivity is awareness. Your empathy is strength. Your ability to feel is not a flaw, it is a gift. The world often celebrates hardness, but I celebrate hearts that remain open even after being wounded. That kind of courage is rare. You have also carried resilience without realizing it. You have endured things that should have broken you, yet here you are, still hoping, still listening, still reaching for meaning. That endurance was not accidental. It was cultivated. I was strengthening you quietly so you could carry what is coming without losing yourself in the process. There were times you felt isolated because few could understand you. But isolation does not mean absence of purpose. Often, it is the space where clarity forms. I allowed you to walk alone at times so you could hear my voice more clearly than the noise of expectation. In that quiet, I shaped your discernment. I taught you to recognize truth not by popularity, but by peace. The treasure within you has been hidden, not because it lacks value, but because it carries great worth. Precious things are protected. They are not exposed to careless hands. And you, my child, have been guarded even when you did not understand the protection. Every delay, every redirection, every closed door served a purpose in preserving what you carry. You do not need to become someone else to be ready. You do not need to collect approval to be qualified. What you carry is already enough, because it was given by me. The time is coming when you will see how your uniqueness fits perfectly into what I am unfolding. What once made you feel different will soon make sense. So stop questioning the way you are made. Stop apologizing for your depth. Stop wishing you were simpler, faster, or less aware. I did not design you for ease alone. I designed you for meaning. And what you carry, rare and refined, is exactly what is needed for what I have prepared for you next. My beloved child, I know how heavy waiting can feel. I know how each passing season has tested your patience and whispered doubts into your mind. You have looked at the distance between where you are and where you hope to be, and you have wondered if the silence means I have said no. But listen to me now with an open heart. Delay is not denial. Time is not rejection. Waiting is not evidence of absence. You live in a world that measures value by speed. Quick results are praised, and slow growth is often dismissed. But I do not work according to pressure or comparison. I work according to purpose. What I am building in your life requires a foundation that cannot be rushed. Some things must mature in hidden places before they can stand in the open without collapsing. I see the nights you questioned your prayers. I see the mornings you woke up hoping today would be different. You asked for clarity, for movement, for reassurance. And when it did not come the way you expected, disappointment settled in quietly. But what you did not see was that even in stillness, I was active. Even in waiting, I was arranging things beyond your view. There are doors that must remain closed until you are ready to walk through them without losing yourself. There are opportunities that look good but would have drained you if they arrived too soon. I protected you by delaying what you were not yet prepared to carry. What felt like loss was often preservation. You have measured your life against timelines that were never written for you. You have looked at others and wondered why their story seemed to move faster, smoother, or easier. But I did not call you to live someone else's story. I called you to live yours. And your timing is aligned not with comparison, but with calling. When I delay, it is not because I am unsure. It is because I am intentional. I see further than you can. I see consequences before choices are made. I see how one moment connects to another. And I will not release something into your hands until it can bless you without breaking you. Love does not rush what matters. You may feel tired of being patient, tired of being strong, tired of hoping quietly. I understand that weariness, but even your endurance has been forming you. Each moment you chose trust over bitterness shaped your character. Each time you waited instead of forcing an outcome, you strengthened your discernment. These are not small victories. They are essential. I know you fear that waiting means missing out, that if it does not happen soon, it may never happen at all. But what is meant for you cannot pass you by. What carries your name will arrive in its appointed time. You do not need to chase it. You do not need to prove yourself worthy. You need only to remain open and faithful. There is a difference between delay and denial, and that difference is love. Denial withholds. Delay prepares. Denial leaves empty. Delay fills with strength, wisdom, and readiness. What I am delaying is being shaped into something that will bring peace, not regret. And when it comes, you will not wish it had arrived sooner. One day you will look back on this season with understanding. You will see how every pause protected you, how every wait refined you, how every unanswered question prepared you for a deeper answer. What feels like slow progress now will reveal itself as careful craftsmanship. So do not lose heart in the waiting. Do not let impatience rewrite the truth. I have not forgotten you. I have not changed my mind. I am not withholding out of indifference. I am aligning everything in perfect order, for your good and for what I have promised. Remain steady. Remain open. Trust that delay is part of the design, not a sign of rejection. What is coming will arrive at the right moment, and when it does, you will understand why it could only come now. My beloved child, there have been moments in your life when you felt invisible. Times when your effort went unnoticed, your kindness unacknowledged, your faith unseen. You showed up. You tried again. You held yourself together quietly, and still it seemed as though no one truly saw you. But hear me now, clearly and without doubt. I see you. I have always seen you, even in the moments you believe you were alone. I see the choices you make when no one is watching. I see the integrity you carry in private, the way you restrain your words, the way you choose patience over reaction. I see the prayers you whisper because speaking them aloud feels too heavy. I see the tears you wipe away quickly so others will not ask questions you do not know how to answer. Nothing about you has gone unnoticed. You have learned how to be strong in silence. You have learned how to endure without applause. You have learned how to carry responsibility even when appreciation never came. That kind of strength is not visible to the world, but it is precious to me. Many seek recognition, but few are willing to remain faithful when no one claps for them. That faithfulness has weight. There were times you helped others while you yourself needed help. Times you encouraged when your own heart felt fragile. Times you gave without knowing if anyone would ever return the kindness. You may have wondered if it mattered. I tell you now, it mattered deeply. Every act of love, every moment of restraint, every choice to stay kind in a harsh world was seen and remembered. You may feel overlooked in your work, your family, or even your spiritual journey. Others seem to advance, receive affirmation, or be celebrated while you remain in the background. But background does not mean forgotten. Often, it is in the quiet places where foundations are built. I use hidden seasons to develop character that can withstand what is coming next. I know there were moments you questioned your worth because no one acknowledged your effort. You wondered if you were doing enough, or if your presence made any difference at all. But value is not determined by attention. Worth is not measured by visibility. You are valuable because you exist, because I form you, because you are mine. When you felt alone, I was near. When you felt unseen, I was watching. When you felt unheard, I was listening. I have been closer than your breath, even in the moments you felt abandoned. My silence was not indifference. It was trust. I trusted you to grow in ways that did not require constant reassurance. You have developed depth because you were not always validated. You have learned discernment because you were not always guided. You have cultivated resilience because you were not always supported. These qualities will serve you well. They are part of the preparation you could only receive in unseen places. I want you to understand something important. Being seen by the world is temporary. Being known by me is eternal. Many who are celebrated publicly crumble privately because they were never strengthened in secret. You, however, have been shaped where no one else could interfere. I have been forming you with care, away from distraction, so that what you carry will be authentic and lasting. Do not despise the seasons where you felt invisible. They were not punishment. They were protection. I was shielding you from noise, from pressure, from premature exposure. I was teaching you to listen to my voice above all others, so that when recognition comes, it will not define you or consume you. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not unseen. Every quiet act of faith, every moment of endurance, every step taken in trust hath been recorded. And when the time is right, what has been hidden will come into the light with clarity and purpose. Rest in this truth. You do not need to prove yourself to be noticed. You are already fully seen, fully known, and deeply valued. I am with you in every unseen place, and I will not allow your faithfulness to go unrewarded. My beloved child, I want to gently reshape the way you have been imagining what is coming. For a long time, you may have pictured the special thing I promised as a single moment, a visible breakthrough, or a specific outcome that would finally make everything feel complete. You imagined it as an answer that would fix what feels broken, or a reward that would justify the waiting. But what I am preparing for you is not limited to an object, a title, or a circumstance. It is far greater, deeper, and more lasting than that. What is coming will touch more than your situation. It will reach into your identity. It will settle into your spirit. It will change how you see yourself, how you move through the world, and how you respond to life. The special thing is not just something you will receive. It is something you will become while receiving it. You have asked me for change, but what you truly needed was transformation. Circumstances can shift quickly, but if the heart is not ready, the peace does not last. I am not interested in giving you something that excites you for a moment and leaves you empty again. I am preparing something that aligns your inner world with your outer life, so that what you experience does not overpower who you are. There have been times you focused so deeply on what you wanted that you missed what I was building within you. I was strengthening your discernment so you would recognize what truly matters. I was deepening your peace so it would not depend on outcomes. I was anchoring your worth so it would not rise and fall with success or approval. These are not small gifts. They are essential foundations. What is coming will bring clarity where there was confusion. It will bring calm where there was anxiety. It will bring purpose where there was uncertainty. You will notice that things which once consumed your thoughts no longer control you. You will respond with wisdom where you once reacted with fear. That shift is part of the gift. I know you have wanted relief from pressure. You have wanted assurance that your life is moving in the right direction. The special thing includes that assurance, but it also includes the strength to remain steady even when life is unpredictable. It includes the ability to trust yourself because you are aligned with truth. It includes a sense of wholeness that is not easily shaken. You may have believed that once the promise arrives, everything else will suddenly fall into place. But what I am giving you is better than perfect conditions. I am giving you stability. I am giving you clarity of heart. I am giving you the ability to navigate life with wisdom rather than fear. These gifts will serve you in every season, not just one. The world teaches you to chase things. I teach you to become grounded. The world promises happiness through possession. I promise peace through alignment. What I have prepared for you will not enslave you to maintenance or expectation. It will free you to live fully present, fully aware, and fully at rest in who you are becoming. You will still have goals. You will still have dreams. But they will no longer come from desperation. They will come from confidence. You will no longer seek validation through achievement, because you will know your value is already secure. That shift will change how you move, how you choose, and how you love. Do not limit your expectation to something small or temporary. What I am unfolding in your life is layered, intentional, and enduring. It will bless you inwardly before it ever blesses you outwardly. And because of that, it will last. Trust me in this. This special thing is not just a thing. It is peace that stays. It is purpose that feels right. It is identity that no longer wavers. And when it arrives, you will realize that what you truly needed was not just a change in circumstance, but a deeper alignment with who you were always meant to be. My beloved child, I want you to understand something sacred about where you are right now. You are not simply waiting. You are being trusted. Trust is not given lightly, and it is not given quickly. It is built through observation, through consistency, through the quiet evidence of character that reveals itself over time. And I have been watching you carefully, not with suspicion, but with loving attention. You have wondered why some things have taken so long to unfold. You assumed it was because you were not ready, or not enough, or not chosen. But there is another truth you have not considered. I trust you with what is coming, and trust requires preparation. I do not place weight on weak foundations. I do not hand responsibility to a heart that has not learned how to rest, listen, and remain steady. You have shown me that you can endure without becoming bitter. You have shown me that you can wait without losing your compassion. You have shown me that even when you are confused, you still seek truth rather than shortcuts. These things matter. They are not invisible to me. They are evidence that you can be trusted with influence, with purpose, with blessing that reaches beyond yourself. There were moments when you could have chosen the easy way, moments when you could have compromised your values to move faster or feel accepted. But you resisted, even when it cost you comfort or recognition. That restraint shaped you. It revealed the strength of your spirit. It showed me that when things become more significant, you will not lose yourself in the process. Trust also means I believe in your capacity to grow. I know you are still learning. I know you are still healing. But growth does not disqualify you. It qualifies you. I do not wait for perfection. I look for humility, teachability, and a heart that remains open. You have carried those qualities, even when you doubted yourself. You may think trust is proven in moments of success, but it is actually revealed in moments of obscurity. When no one is watching, when there is no reward, when faithfulness feels ordinary. It is where you have lived for a long time, and that is where your strength has been formed. I have trusted you with silence because I knew you would listen. I have trusted you with waiting because I knew you would not force what was not yours. I have trusted you with questions because I knew you would seek wisdom rather than give up. These are not small things. They are the markers of someone who can carry what is meaningful without being consumed by it. What I am preparing to place in your life will require discernment. It will require steadiness. It will require the ability to hold joy without fear and responsibility without pressure. You are being trusted because you are becoming capable of that balance. Not by your own effort alone, but through the shaping you allow me to do. You may not feel strong, but strength is not always loud. Often, it is quiet consistency. It is choosing kindness again. It is staying open when it would be easier to close. It is believing there is more, even when you cannot see it yet. You have done these things more often than you realize. I do not trust you because you never fall. I trust you because you rise with humility. I trust you because you reflect, you learn, and you keep moving forward without hardening your heart. That is the kind of strength that can sustain blessing. So do not see this season as uncertainty. See it as confirmation. You are being trusted because you are becoming ready. What is coming is not meant to overwhelm you. It is meant to align with the strength you now carry. Remain steady. Remain open. Let go of the fear that you might fail. I am with you, guiding you, and strengthening you as you walk forward. You are not being tested to be rejected. You are being prepared because you are trusted. My beloved child, I know the weight you have carried. I know the memories that still surface when you least expect them. I know the moments that changed you, the words that cut deeply, the experiences that left marks you did not ask for. You have tried to move forward, yet parts of your past still speak, still echo, still attempt to tell you who you are. But listen to me now with your whole heart. What hurt you will not define you. Pain has a way of trying to rewrite identity. It whispers that you are fragile because you were wounded, unworthy because you were rejected, limited because you failed. But pain is not truth. It is an experience, not a label. It is a chapter, not the conclusion. I did not create you to be defined by what happened to you. I created you to be shaped by truth, not trauma. You have blamed yourself for things that were never your fault. You have replayed moments, wondering what you could have done differently, what you should have seen sooner, how you could have prevented the hurt. But you were doing the best you could with what you knew at the time. You were learning. You were growing. You were surviving. And survival is not weakness. It is evidence of resilience. There were times the pain made you cautious. You learned to protect yourself. You learned to hold back parts of your heart. You learned to stay alert, to expect disappointment, to guard your trust. I understand why you did that. But protection is not meant to become a prison. What once kept you safe does not need to keep you closed forever. I do not erase your past, but I redeem it. I take what was meant to break you and transform it into wisdom. I take what wounded you and use it to deepen your compassion. I take what nearly stopped you and turn it into strength that cannot be shaken. You are not damaged beyond repair. You are being restored with intention. You may fear that your pain has permanently altered you, that you will never be the same again. And it is true. You are not the same. But that does not mean you are less. You are more aware, more discerning, more grounded. You carry insight you did not have before. Growth often comes through places we never would have chosen. Do not confuse scars with weakness. Scars mean healing has begun. They mean something did not destroy you. They mean life continued. And I do not see your scars as blemishes. I see them as evidence of endurance, of grace, of strength that was formed under pressure. You are not behind because you were hurt. You are not delayed because you needed time to heal. Healing is not a detour. It is part of the journey. And every step you took toward wholeness mattered, even when it felt slow or incomplete. I know you sometimes fear that the past will repeat itself, that trusting again will only lead to more pain. But I am teaching you discernment, not fear. I am showing you how to recognize what is healthy, what is aligned, what brings peace. You are not the same person who was hurt before. You see differently now. You choose differently now. What happened to you did not disqualify you. It did not remove your calling. It did not cancel what I have planned. If anything, it has prepared you to receive what is coming with wisdom rather than naivety, with strength rather than desperation. Release the belief that your pain is your identity. You are not your wounds. You are not your mistakes. You are not the worst moment of your life. You are my beloved child, still becoming, still growing, still unfolding into who you were always meant to be. Let me carry what you no longer need to hold. Let me redefine you by truth rather than memory. What hurt you will not define you. It will not limit you. It will not have the final word. I am writing something new in your life, and it is stronger, wiser, and more beautiful than what tried to break you. My beloved child, there is a moment approaching when clarity will replace confusion, when the noise of many possibilities will quiet into a single, steady knowing. You have stood before many doors in your life. Some you tried to open with effort. Some closed suddenly without explanation. Some looked promising but left you empty. And you wondered if you were choosing wrong or if you were missing something meant for you. But listen closely now. I'm opening the right door. Not every open door is an invitation from me. Not every opportunity carries peace. I have closed doors in your life not to frustrate you, but to protect you from paths that would have drained your spirit. What felt like rejection was often redirection. What felt like loss was often alignment. I will guide you toward right. The right door does not come with chaos. It does not demand that you abandon your values to enter. It does not require you to shrink, pretend, or rush. When the right door opens, you will feel peace before you feel excitement. You will feel clarity before you feel certainty. Your spirit will recognize it, even if your mind still has questions. You have been afraid of choosing wrong because you care deeply about your life and your future. But care is not weakness. It is wisdom. And I have been honoring it by teaching you to listen inwardly rather than chasing outward pressure. You are learning that alignment matters more than approval, and peace matters more than speed. I know you have felt stuck at times, standing in hallways of waiting, unsure of which direction to move. But hallways are not permanent places. They exist to lead you somewhere. And this hallway has been narrowing your focus, refining your discernment, and preparing you to walk through what is opening now without hesitation or regret. When I open the right door, it will not require force. You will not have to convince yourself it is right. You will not need constant reassurance from others. There will be a quiet confidence, a steady sense of rightness that settles into your heart. Even if it stretches you, it will not drain you. Even if it challenges you, it will not confuse you. Do not fear missing what is meant for you. I am not hiding the right door to test you. I am revealing it at the moment you can recognize it clearly. Timing matters because perception matters. And you are seeing more clearly now than you ever have before. If these words are bringing alignment to your heart, I ask you to respond. Bless this message with a like so it can move further. Share it with someone who feels stuck between doors and needs reassurance. And I ask you especially to hype this video, so it can rise and reach hearts that are searching for direction and peace. When you do this, you become part of the opening, part of the movement of hope reaching others. What is opening for you will not pull you away from who you are becoming. It will support it. It will feel like a step forward that makes sense, not because it is easy, but because it is right. And when you walk through it, you will understand why every other door had to remain closed. Trust me now. I'm not opening every door. I'm opening the right one. My beloved child, as I open doors of clarity for you, I am also opening doors for others through this message. Every act of support becomes a lamp in the hands of someone still walking through uncertainty. I declare to you now, what you sow in faith, I return in harvest. This is not about sustaining a channel, but about sustaining hope for wandering hearts. I am calling you in this moment to act with purpose. Support through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link found in the description and shown by QR code. I bless your obedience, and I command you now. Step forward and give, so this light may reach where darkness still lingers. My beloved child, I see the quiet pressure you have carried, even when you tried to deny it. The pressure to keep up, the pressure to measure yourself against others, the pressure to wonder if you are doing enough, becoming enough, moving fast enough. You have looked around and felt the subtle pull to compare your journey with someone else's progress. But listen to me gently now. You do not have to compete. Competition was never part of my design for you. I did not create you to outrun others or to prove your worth through comparison. I created you to walk in alignment, not rivalry. Your path was never meant to mirror another person's timeline, talents, or outcomes. What I placed within you is distinct, and what I am unfolding for you cannot be replicated by anyone else. Comparison distorts vision. It makes you focus on what others have rather than what you carry. It tempts you to rush what needs time. It convinces you that being different means being behind. But difference is not deficiency. Uniqueness is not delay. You are not late because you are walking a path that requires depth rather than speed. You may admire qualities in others and feel lacking by contrast. You may see their confidence, their success, their clarity, and wonder why yours feels quieter or slower to emerge. But what you see is only a fragment of their story. You do not see the cost, the struggle, or the private battles they have faced. And more importantly, their journey is not your assignment. I have given each of my children a lane that fits them. When you try to run in a lane that does not belong to you, you exhaust yourself unnecessarily. But when you stay aligned with your own calling, even the difficult steps carry peace. I am not asking you to be more like someone else. I'm inviting you to be more fully who you are. There were moments you felt tempted to imitate others just to feel secure, to adopt their pace, their priorities, their version of success. But imitation steals authenticity, and authenticity is what will sustain you. What is coming into your life will require you to stand in your truth, not someone else's shadow. I know the world celebrates comparison. It ranks, measures, and defines worth through visible achievement. But I measure differently. I look at faithfulness. I look at growth. I look at the condition of the heart. I value quiet consistency more than loud success. And you have been consistent, even when no one noticed. You are not in competition for purpose. Purpose is not scarce. There is no limited supply that runs out if someone else receives theirs first. Your calling does not depend on another person's failure. Your blessing does not require someone else's delay. What I have for you is secured by intention, not threatened by comparison. When you let go of competition, something beautiful happens. You breathe more freely. You make decisions with clarity rather than anxiety. You stop forcing outcomes and start trusting timing. You begin to recognize your own progress, rather than dismissing it because it does not look like someone else's. I am teaching you to celebrate others without diminishing yourself, to honor different journeys without questioning your own. This maturity will protect you when what I have prepared for you begins to unfold. You will not be shaken by comparison because you will know who you are and why you are there. Release the habit of measuring your worth through external markers. You are not behind. You are not less. You are not failing because your story is unfolding differently. You are becoming in a way that fits you. Stay in your lane, my child. Walk at the pace I have set for you. Trust that what is meant for you will arrive without competition, without striving, without fear of missing out. You do not have to compete for what was designed with your name already written on it. My beloved child, I want you to know something deeply comforting. I am not asking you to be fully healed before you move forward. I am healing you as I lead you. Healing is not a destination you must reach before life can continue. It is a process that unfolds alongside obedience, trust, and growth. You are not stalled because you still feel tender. You are not disqualified because some wounds still ache. I walk with you in the healing, not after it is complete. You may have believed that once you are healed, then you will be ready. That once the pain no longer surfaces, then you can move freely. But healing does not work that way. If it did, no one would ever take another step. Healing happens in motion. It happens as you choose again, as you trust again, as you remain open even when fear tries to close you off. There are layers within you that are being gently restored. Some you are aware of, and some you will only recognize later, when you realize you no longer react the way you once did. You no longer carry the same heaviness. You no longer shrink in the same spaces. It is healing taking place quietly, faithfully, over time. I know you sometimes feel frustrated with yourself. You wonder why certain emotions still surface, why certain memories still have power, why you are not further along by now. But healing is not linear. There are days of strength and days of tenderness. Neither means failure. Both are part of becoming whole. I am careful with you. I do not force healing in ways that would overwhelm your heart. I do not rush restoration that needs gentleness. I know what you can carry, and I know when to slow the pace. If I seem quiet at times, it is because I am working in ways that require stillness rather than noise. As I lead you forward, I am also teaching you how to tend to yourself with compassion. You are learning to listen to your limits rather than ignore them. You are learning to honor your emotions without being ruled by them. You are learning that strength does not mean suppression, and faith does not mean denial. These lessons are part of your healing. You may fear that moving forward will reopen old wounds, that trusting again will expose you to pain. But healing does not mean you will never feel discomfort. It means discomfort will no longer control you. It means you will be able to face what arises with wisdom, support, and truth rather than fear. I am not leading you into spaces that will undo you. I am leading you into places where healing can deepen because safety has been established within you. The strength you have gained is not fragile. It is resilient. And even when something touches a sensitive place, you will notice that you recover more quickly, that you understand yourself more clearly, that you are kinder to your own process. You are not behind because you are healing. Healing is not a pause in your purpose. It is preparation for it. The empathy you are developing, the patience you are cultivating, the self-awareness you are gaining will serve you in ways you cannot yet imagine. They will allow you to carry what is coming with grace rather than fear. Trust me in this season. You do not need to be fixed to be faithful. You do not need to be whole to be worthy. I am walking with you, step by step, restoring what was fractured while guiding you toward what is next. I am not dragging you forward. I am leading you at a pace that honors your heart. Let go of the pressure to be healed all at once. Let go of the belief that you must arrive before you can move. You are healing because you are moving. and you are moving because I am with you. Rest in that truth. I am healing you as I lead you, and I will not abandon the work I have begun in you. My beloved child, I know how often that fear has crept into your thoughts. The fear that time has slipped through your hands. The fear that opportunities have passed you by. The fear that you should be further along by now. You have looked at your age, your circumstances, your progress, and quietly wondered if you are late. But listen to me with a calm heart. You are not late. You live in a world that constantly reminds you of deadlines and milestones. It measures success by age, by speed, by visible achievement. It tells you when things should happen and what life should look like by a certain point. And when your story does not match that script, doubt tries to take root. But I did not design your life according to the world's clock. I designed it according to purpose. There is a rhythm to your life that only I can see fully. I see where you have been, where you are, and where you are going all at once. I see how each season connects to the next. And I assure you, nothing in your life is out of order. Nothing has been wasted. Nothing has arrived too late to matter. You have gained wisdom that cannot be rushed. You have developed discernment that only comes through time. You have learned lessons that will protect you in the future. These are not delays. They are investments. And they are preparing you for what is ahead in ways that an earlier start never could have. You may think, if only this had happened sooner, things would be easier now. But easier does not always mean better. Earlier does not always mean wiser. What you are stepping into now will meet a version of you that is more grounded, more aware, more capable of sustaining it. Timing is not about speed. It is about readiness. There are things I could have given you earlier, but they would have cost you more than they would have blessed you. I held back not because I wanted you to wait, but because I wanted you to thrive. I wanted what you received to support your life, not complicate it. Love delays when delay protects. You are not late to becoming who you are meant to be. Growth does not follow a straight line. It unfolds in layers, often revisiting old places with new understanding. You are exactly where you need to be to make the next decision with clarity and peace. Do not let regret rewrite your story. Do not allow comparison to convince you that you missed your moment. Moments return in new forms when hearts are ready. Opportunities reappear when wisdom has been gained. You have not missed what belongs to you. I know you sometimes grieve what you thought your life would look like by now. That grief is understandable. But do not confuse a different path with a wrong one. The story you are living is still meaningful. It is still unfolding. And it still carries beauty and purpose. You are not behind others. You are not behind schedule. You are not behind in my eyes. I do not rush what matters, and I do not abandon what I begin. What I have prepared for you will arrive at the right time, not according to pressure, but according to love. Breathe deeply and release the fear of lateness. Trust that your life is not a mistake that needs correction. It is a journey that is still in motion. You are learning, becoming, and aligning in ways that cannot be hurried. You are not late, my child. You are right on time for the version of yourself that can receive what is coming with gratitude, strength, and peace. My beloved child, I know how unsettling the unknown feels to you. The unanswered questions, the unclear path, the moments when you wish you could see even one step ahead. You have stood at the edge of uncertainty and felt your heart tighten, wondering what comes next and whether you are prepared for it. But listen to me gently now. You are not walking into the unknown alone. I am with you in it. You often believe peace will come once everything is explained, once the plan is visible, once the outcome is guaranteed. But peace does not come from certainty. It comes from presence, and my presence has never left you. Even when you could not see where you were going, I was already there, waiting for you with calm and care. The unknown feels threatening because it removes your sense of control. It asks you to trust without proof, to move without assurance, to believe without seeing, and that feels vulnerable. But vulnerability is not weakness. It is the doorway through which trust grows. I am not asking you to be fearless. I am asking you to be willing. There have been times you wished I would give you a clear sign, a detailed plan, a timeline you could rely on. But if I showed you everything at once, you would be overwhelmed. You would try to carry tomorrow's weight with today's strength. So I give you light for the step you are on, not the entire journey. And that light is enough. I know you fear making the wrong move. You fear stepping forward only to realize you misunderstood. But I am not standing far away, watching to see if you fail. I am close, guiding, correcting, and supporting you as you move. Even if you stumble, I am there to steady you. Even if you pause, I'm patient with you. The unknown is not empty. It is full of possibility. It is the space where growth happens, where faith deepens, where identity becomes anchored beyond circumstance. I use the unknown to teach you how to listen inwardly, how to discern peace from pressure, how to recognize my voice above your fears. You have already survived moments you once thought would undo you. You have walked through uncertainty before and emerged stronger, wiser, more grounded. That same strength lives within you now. You are more prepared than you realize, not because you know what will happen, but because you know how to remain steady when you do not. I am not leading you into confusion. I am leading you into trust. And trust does not require full understanding. It requires willingness to walk with me, step by step, moment by moment. When you feel unsure, that is not the signal to stop. It is the invitation to lean closer. There will be days when the unknown feels heavy, when doubt tries to speak louder than hope. On those days, remember this truth. I am constant even when circumstances are not. I do not change with your emotions. I do not disappear when answers delay. I remain. You are not expected to have everything figured out. You are not required to be confident all the time. You are simply invited to stay open, to stay honest, and to stay connected. I will meet you there every time. What lies ahead may stretch you, but it will not break you. It may challenge you, but it will not consume you. I am shaping you into someone who can move forward without needing certainty to feel secure. That is a strength that will carry you far. So take the next step, even if it feels small. Breathe through the uncertainty rather than fighting it. Trust that clarity will come as you move, not before. I am with you in the unknown, and my presence is enough to guide you safely through every unanswered question. You are not lost. You are being led, and I will not let you walk this path alone. My beloved child, I know how heavy the quiet has felt. I know how silence can make you question whether anything is happening at all. You have lived through seasons where there was no announcement, no visible progress, no clear sign that you were moving forward. Days blended into one another, and you wondered if you were standing still while life passed by. But listen to me now with a softened heart. The quiet season has purpose. Silence is not emptiness. Stillness is not stagnation. What appears quiet on the surface often holds the deepest work underneath. Just as roots grow unseen beneath the soil, strengthening the tree before it ever bears fruit, so have you been growing in ways that cannot yet be measured or displayed. I do not rush what must be rooted. You may feel unproductive because there is nothing to show outwardly. No milestones to celebrate. no progress others can applaud. But inward growth is never wasted. In this quiet, I have been teaching you to listen rather than strive, to reflect rather than react, to understand yourself rather than escape yourself. These lessons are shaping your foundation. The quiet season strips away distractions. It reveals what truly matters to you. It brings hidden fears to the surface so they can be healed. It invites you to slow down and become honest about what you carry, what you need, and what you are willing to release. This work cannot be done in noise. It requires space. You may have felt overlooked during this time, as though nothing significant was happening in your life. But significance is not always loud. Some of the most important transformations happen quietly, without witnesses. I have been forming your character, strengthening your discernment, and deepening your capacity to trust. These are not visible achievements, but they are essential ones. There were moments you tried to escape the stillness. Moments you wanted movement just to feel alive again. But I held you here gently, not to punish you, but to protect you. Movement without clarity would have led you in circles. Noise without direction would have drained you. I wanted you to be grounded before you moved forward. In the quiet, you have learned how to sit with your thoughts rather than drown them out. You have learned how to face discomfort rather than avoid it. You have learned how to be present with yourself. These are strengths that will carry you into the next season with stability and wisdom. I know the quiet can feel lonely. When others are busy and progressing outwardly, silence can make you feel invisible. But you were not abandoned here. I was close. I was speaking softly, teaching you to recognize my voice without spectacle. I was showing you that your worth is not tied to constant activity. The quiet season also teaches patience, not as resignation, but as trust. It teaches you that you do not have to force growth, that becoming takes time, that life unfolds in layers. You are learning to respect timing, including your own. This patience will protect you from rushing into things that are not aligned. You may not realize how much you have changed until you look back. One day you will notice that you respond differently, that you are calmer, that you are clearer, that you are more at peace with yourself. Those shifts were formed here, in the quiet, when no one else was watching. Do not despise this season. Do not rush to escape it. It has been preparing you in ways that noise never could. It has been strengthening you for what is coming next. When movement begins again, you will carry a steadiness that could only be built in stillness. Trust me, my child. The quiet season has not been wasted. It has been purposeful. It has been shaping you gently, deeply, and intentionally. And when the time comes to step forward, you will do so not from restlessness, but from readiness. My beloved child, there comes a moment when confusion begins to loosen its grip, when questions soften into understanding, and when what once felt random starts to form a pattern. You are approaching that moment now. I know how long you have wondered why things unfolded the way they did, why certain doors closed, why certain prayers seemed unanswered, why your path took turns you never expected. But listen closely. You are about to understand why. Understanding does not always arrive suddenly. Sometimes it unfolds gently, like light spreading across a room at dawn. At first, shapes are unclear. Then outlines appear. And eventually, you see what was always there, waiting for the right moment to be revealed. That is what is happening within you now. Your perspective is shifting. Your awareness is widening. You are becoming ready to see what you could not see before. There were experiences you questioned deeply, moments you labeled as setbacks or mistakes, seasons you could erase. But nothing in your life has been random. Each experience carried a lesson, a strengthening, refinement that was necessary for where you are going. If I had explained it to you back then, you would not have understood. Not because you were incapable, but because you had not yet lived what would give meaning to the explanation. Wisdom comes through lived experience. It cannot be rushed or borrowed. You had to walk through certain things to develop the insight you now carry. You had to feel the weight of certain choices to recognize what truly matters. You had to face uncertainty to learn how to trust without guarantees. These lessons are now aligning, forming a clarity that feels different from anything you have known before. You may notice that situations which once triggered fear no longer hold the same power. Questions that once consumed you now feel quieter. This is not because answers have arrived fully, but because you have grown. Your capacity to hold complexity has expanded. You can now see both pain and purpose without needing to choose one over the other. I know you wanted answers earlier. You prayed for explanation, for reassurance, for meaning. But timing matters when it comes to understanding. Truth revealed too early can confuse rather than comfort. I waited until your heart was ready to receive clarity without bitterness, without resentment, without fear. You are ready now. What you are beginning to understand will not erase the past, but it will reframe it. You will see how certain delays protected you, how certain losses redirected you, how certain struggles strengthened you in ways comfort never could. This understanding will not bring regret. It will bring peace. There is a depth forming within you that allows you to look back without being pulled backward. You can acknowledge what was without wishing it were different. You can honor your journey without being defined by it. This is maturity. This is healing. This is readiness. You may not yet have all the answers, but you have enough clarity to move forward with confidence. You no longer need to know every detail to trust the direction. You no longer need constant confirmation to believe you are aligned. That is because understanding is no longer something you are chasing. It is something unfolding within you. I want you to be patient with this process. Revelation does not always arrive as a dramatic moment. Sometimes it comes through quiet realizations, through subtle shifts in how you interpret your story, through a growing sense of peace when you think about what lies ahead. You are about to understand why you had to wait, why you had to grow, why you had to let go. And when that understanding settles in, it will not make you bitter about the past. It will make you grateful for the strength you now carry. Trust me in this unfolding. What you could not see before is becoming clear. What you could not understand before is beginning to make sense. You are not standing on the edge of confusion anymore. You are standing at the threshold of clarity. And as understanding continues to grow, you will realize that every step, every season, every delay was leading you here, to a place where peace and purpose finally meet. My beloved child, what I am preparing in your life has never been meant to stop with you. I know you have been focused on survival for so long that simply making it through felt like the goal. You wanted peace. You wanted stability. You wanted clarity. And those desires were not wrong. But now I want to lift your vision gently and show you something more. This is bigger than you. Everything I have been shaping within you carries purpose beyond your own healing. The patience you have learned, the compassion you have developed, the wisdom you have gained through pain and waiting, all of it is meant to flow outward. What you have endured is not only about your strength, it is about what your strength will waken in others. You have a way of seeing that makes people feel understood, a way of listening that makes others feel safe, a depth that allows you to connect where others skim the surface. These qualities were not formed by accident. They were forged through experience so that you could carry influence without pride and impact without harm. You may feel unqualified to affect others because you still see your own imperfections. But I do not use perfect people. I use willing hearts. I use those who know what it is to struggle because they speak with authenticity rather than superiority. You do not have to have all the answers to make a difference. You only need to be present and honest. There will be moments when your words bring comfort simply because they are real. Moments when your presence steadies someone who feels lost. Moments when your story gives another person permission to keep going. You may never fully see the reach of your life, but that does not mean it is small. Many of the most meaningful ripples move quietly. I know you sometimes feel insignificant in a world that celebrates scale and visibility. But significance is not measured by numbers. It is measured by impact. One life touched deeply carries more weight than many touched briefly. And your life is positioned to touch deeply. You have learned empathy not as a concept, but as a lived reality. You know what it means to wait, to hope, to doubt, to keep going anyway. That understanding allows you to meet others where they are without judgment. That is a rare and powerful gift. What is coming into your life will expand your influence, not inflate your ego. It will open opportunities for connection, service, and meaning. You will feel a pull to contribute, to share, to give in ways that feel natural rather than forced. That is how you will know you are aligned. If this message is stirring something within you, I ask you to respond. Bless this message with a like so it can travel further. Share it with someone who feels unseen or discouraged. And I ask you especially to hype this video so it can rise and reach hearts that need this reminder. When you do this, you are not just engaging with content. You are helping purpose move through the world. You are not meant to carry this calling alone. Others will walk alongside you. Some will be helped by you. Some will help you. This exchange of strength, wisdom, and compassion is part of how I work through my children. You are stepping into that flow now. Do not be afraid of the responsibility that comes with impact. You are not being asked to carry the weight of the world. You are being invited to carry light where you are placed. That light does not come from striving. It comes from authenticity. This is bigger than you, my child, but it includes you fully. Your healing matters. Your peace matters. And so does the way your life will quietly, steadily make room for hope in others. Trust me as this unfolds. You are not being elevated for attention. You are being positioned for purpose. My beloved child, I am speaking to you now as one whose life can help awaken many others. When you give to support this message, you are sowing seeds into hearts you may never meet, but whom I know by name. I say to you, those who pour out will be filled again, and this is not a metaphor. It is a living promise. This work continues because willing hands respond when I stir them. Support this mission now through Super Thanks membership, or the PayPal link placed in the description and shown by QR code. I bless what you release, and I command you, move in obedience and let this light reach far beyond you. My beloved child, there is a sacred truth I want to place gently into your heart now. I trust you with what is coming. Trust is not given lightly, and it is not given randomly. It is built through seasons of watching, waiting, and shaping. And I have been with you through every season, seeing not only what you did, but how you became. I trust you because you have learned how to hold joy without arrogance and pain without bitterness. I trust you because you have learned how to listen before speaking and reflect before reacting. I trust you because when you were unsure, you did not harden your heart. You stayed open. That openness matters more than you realize. What I am placing into your life carries meaning, influence, and responsibility. Not responsibility meant to burden you, but responsibility that aligns with your growth. I am not handing you something fragile that you might easily break. I am placing something enduring into hands that have been strengthened quietly over time. You may still question yourself. You may wonder if you are capable, ready, or wise enough. But readiness is not the absence of doubt. It is the willingness to move forward with humility. And humility is one of the clearest signs of trustworthiness. You do not rush ahead carelessly. You consider. You reflect. You care about the impact of your choices. That is why I trust you. There were moments you could have misused power, even in small ways. Moments when you could have chosen control over compassion. But you learned restraint. You learned discernment. You learned that influence is not about dominance, but about stewardship. These lessons prepared you for what is ahead far more than confidence alone ever could. I know you sometimes fear that you might fail, that you might make the wrong choice or fall short of what is expected. But failure is not what disqualifies a heart. Pride does. And you have allowed yourself to remain teachable. You have learned how to correct course without collapsing into shame. That resilience is part of why I trust you. Trust also means I believe in your ability to grow into what you carry. I am not expecting you to have everything figured out at once. I am walking with you. I will guide you. I will correct you gently when needed. Trust does not mean abandonment. It means partnership. What I am entrusting to you will stretch you, but it will not crush you. It will call forth strengths you did not know you had, but those strengths have been forming for a long time. You will discover them as you move forward, not before. Growth often reveals itself only in motion. I want you to release the fear that you might not live up to what you are given. You are not being tested for perfection. You are being invited into responsibility because your heart is aligned with care, integrity, and purpose. You do not need to be flawless to be faithful. There is also trust in how you will treat yourself. You are learning not to punish yourself for learning, not to shame yourself for needing time. That self-compassion is essential. It allows you to lead, love, and contribute without burning out or becoming rigid. I trust you to honor your limits as well as your calling. You are stepping into a season where your choices will matter in new ways. But do not let that intimidate you. Let it steady you. You are not being handed something beyond your capacity. You are being entrusted with something that fits who you are becoming. I trust you because you have learned the value of listening. Because you pause when unsure. Because you seek understanding rather than control. Because you care about doing what is right, not just what is easy. These qualities are not loud, but they are powerful. Walk forward now with confidence that is rooted in humility. You are not alone in this. I am with you, guiding, supporting, and strengthening you as you go. You have been prepared more than you know. Rest in this truth, my beloved child. I trust you with this, and I will remain with you every step of the way as you carry it with grace, wisdom, and peace. My beloved child, there is a fear you have carried quietly, one you may not always name, but it lingers in the background of your thoughts. The fear that when things truly begin to change, you will have to face it all by yourself. That the path ahead will be lonely. That support will fade just when you need it most. But listen to me now, and let this truth settle deeply into you. You will not walk alone. You have already walked through seasons of loneliness, moments where it felt as though no one truly understood what you were carrying. You learned how to be strong for yourself. You learned how to stand when help did not come. And while that strength has served you, it was never meant to convince you that you must do everything on your own. Independence was a season, not a sentence. I am with you in a way that does not waver with circumstance. My presence does not depend on who shows up for you or who walks away. Even in the moments you felt abandoned, I remain close, steady, and attentive. You were never as alone as you believed. You were being held in ways you could not yet perceive. As you move forward, I will also place people in your path who align with the season you are entering. Not everyone from your past can walk with you into what is next, and that can feel painful. But loss of alignment is not loss of love. Some relationships were meant to shape you for a time, not accompany you forever. I release them gently so new connections can form. The support coming into your life will feel different from what you have known before. It will be quieter, more stable, more mutual. You will not have to perform to be accepted. You will not have to explain yourself constantly. There will be understanding without interrogation, presence without pressure. These connections will meet you where you are, not where you pretend to be. You may still experience moments of solitude. Solitude is not loneliness. It is space for reflection, for renewal, for clarity. I will continue to meet you there. But solitude will no longer feel like abandonment. It will feel like grounding, like rest, like alignment. You have learned discernment through disappointment. You now recognize the difference between connection that nourishes and connection that drains. That wisdom will guide you toward healthy relationships. You will no longer chase belonging at the cost of your peace. You will choose presence that feels safe and supportive. I know you sometimes fear relying on others because you have been let down before. Trust feels risky when it has been broken. But not everyone who enters your life will carry the weight of your past experiences. I am teaching you how to open wisely, not recklessly. How to receive support without losing yourself. You are not meant to carry your purpose in isolation. Shared strength multiplying joy and lighten the burden. There will be moments when you are supported, and moments when you support others. This exchange is part of how I work healing and growth among my children. You are not an exception to this design. And even beyond human connection, I remain constant. When voices are quiet and paths feel uncertain, I am still with you. When decisions feel heavy and responsibility grows, I am still guiding you. When joy arrives and you wonder if it will last, I am still present, celebrating with you. You will not walk alone into what is coming. I am going before you, preparing the way. I am beside you, strengthening your steps. I am within you, steadying your heart. There is no moment ahead where my presence will be absent. Release the fear of isolation. Release the belief that you must do everything by yourself. Allow support to find you. Allow connection to grow naturally. You are not weak for needing others. You are human, and you are loved. As this next season unfolds, you will notice companionship where you once expected silence. Understanding where you once braced for misunderstanding. Support where you once prepared to endure alone. This is not coincidence. It is alignment. Rest in this promise, my beloved child. You will not walk alone. Not now. Not later. Not ever. I am with you, and I am surrounding you with what you need for the journey ahead. My beloved child, I know there are things you lost that you never fully named. Moments that slip away. Trust that was broken. Opportunities that vanished. Pieces of yourself you gave to people or situations that never returned them with care. You learned how to keep going, but the loss stayed with you, quietly shaping how you hoped and how you held back. Listen to me now with tenderness. I am restoring what was taken. Restoration does not always look like replacement. I do not always return things in the same form they were lost. but I do return what matters most. I restore peace where anxiety once lived. I restore confidence where doubt settled in. I restore joy where disappointment made you cautious. What I restore is not fragile. It is strengthened by what you have survived. You may think too much time has passed, that what was lost is gone forever. But time does not limit me. I work beyond timelines and expectations. I know exactly what was taken from you, even the things you could not explain. I know the cost you paid emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, and I do not ignore injustice or loss. I redeem it. There were moments you blamed yourself for what happened. You wondered if you trusted too easily, gave too much, stayed too long. But your willingness to love and hope was not a flaw. It was a reflection of your heart. I do not punish open hearts. I protect and restore them. What you lost taught you discernment, but it did not take away your capacity to receive. You are not destined to live guarded forever. Caution served you for a season, but restoration invites you to open again without fear. I am not asking you to forget what happened. I am asking you to let it go as your identity. Restoration often begins quietly. You may notice a sense of calm returning where there was tension. You may feel excitement without fear. You may trust yourself again in ways you could not before. These are signs that something is being rebuilt within you, piece by piece, with care. I know you grieve not only what was taken, but what might have been. The future you imagine. The version of life you hoped for. That grief was real, and I honored it. But what lies ahead is not smaller because of what you lost. It is wiser. It is deeper. It is more aligned with who you are now. You will not always recognize restoration immediately. Sometimes you realize it only when you notice that the pain no longer controls your decisions, that memory no longer defines your reactions, that fear no longer speaks as loudly as it once did. Healing and restoration often reveal themselves through freedom rather than fanfare. I am restoring your sense of worth. You will no longer measure yourself by how others treated you. I am restoring your trust in yourself. You will no longer doubt every instinct. I am restoring your hope. You will allow yourself to imagine good things again without bracing for disappointment. There are things I am bringing into your life that will not feel like compensation, but completion. They will not erase the past, but they will redeem it by showing you that loss did not have the final word. You will see that what was taken did not disqualify you from joy. It prepared you to receive it with wisdom. Do not rush the process. Restoration unfolds at the pace of safety. I am not rebuilding you quickly. I am rebuilding you well. I am careful with what I place back into your hands, because I want it to last. You are not being punished for what you lost. You are being prepared for what will come. And what comes will not demand that you return to who you were before the loss. It will meet who you are now, stronger, clearer, and more grounded. Trust me, my child. I see every piece that was taken. I have not forgotten any of it. And I am restoring in ways that will not leave you vulnerable again, but whole, steady, and at peace. My beloved child, I want you to understand something essential about what I am bringing into your life. It will not come with chaos. It will not arrive demanding that you sacrifice your peace to hold on to it. The blessing I am preparing for you will bring peace, not pressure. It will settle you, not scatter you. And when it comes, you will recognize it not by how loud it is, but by how calm your spirit becomes. You have experienced things that looked like blessings but left you anxious. Opportunities that promised growth but drained your strength. Relationships that seemed right but required you to abandon yourself to maintain them. Those were not from me. I do not give in ways that fracture the soul. What I give aligns with your well-being. Peace is one of the clearest confirmations of my presence. Excitement can be misleading. Urgency can be deceptive. But peace, deep and steady, does not lie. When something is meant for you, it will not pull you away from who you are becoming. It will support your healing. It will respect your boundaries. It will make room for rest as well as movement. You may still feel moments of nervousness when something new approaches. That is natural. Growth stretches you. But there is a difference between stretching and straying. What I bring will stretch you without breaking you. It will challenge you without overwhelming you. And even in moments of uncertainty, peace will remain underneath, like a steady current. I know you have learned to associate blessing with effort, with proving yourself, with constant maintenance. You believe that to keep something good, you had to work harder, stay alert, and never relax. But I am teaching you a different way. What is truly aligned does not require you to live on edge. It allows you to breathe. This peace does not mean everything will always be easy. It means that even when things are difficult, your heart will not be in turmoil. You will be able to respond rather than react. You will be able to rest even while moving forward. That is the kind of peace that sustains a life, not just a moment. You may doubt this because peace has felt unfamiliar. You have lived in survival mode for a long time. Calm may feel strange at first. You may even wonder if something is wrong because there is no tension driving you. But peace is not absence of purpose. It is alignment with it. When this blessing arrives, you will notice how your body responds. Your shoulders will relax. Your thoughts will quiet. Your decisions will feel clearer. You will not need to convince yourself it is right. You will not need constant reassurance. There will be a sense of rightness that does not depend on external validation. I am not giving you something that will compete with your healing. I am giving you something that will complement it. What is coming will make room for your growth, not rush it. It will support your values, not test them. It will allow you to show up fully without pretending. Peace does not mean complacency. It means confidence without anxiety. It means moving forward without fear. It means trusting the process without needing to control every detail. This is the environment where lasting joy grows. You have spent enough time bracing for impact, preparing for disappointment, expecting things to fall apart. I am teaching you how to receive without fear, how to enjoy without guilt, how to trust without holding your breath. Do not question peace when it arrives. Do not sabotage calm because chaos feels familiar. Allow yourself to settle into what feels steady. Allow yourself to rest in what does not demand struggle to survive. This blessing will not require you to abandon yourself. It will invite you to be more fully who you are. It will not cost you your peace. It will bring it. Trust me, my beloved child. What I am bringing into your life will feel like home to your spirit. And that peace will be your confirmation that you are exactly where you are meant to be. My beloved child, I know you sometimes fear that when the moment comes, you might miss it. That the opportunity meant for you will pass quietly while you hesitate. That the blessing I have prepared will appear disguised, and you will fail to recognize it. But listen to me now with assurance. You will recognize it. Recognition does not come from striving. It comes from alignment. And alignment had been forming within you for a long time. You have learned how to listen inwardly. You have learned how to notice what brings peace and what brings unrest. You have learned how to discern between what excites you briefly and what grounds you deeply. These lessons were not theoretical. They were preparation. When what is meant for you arrives, it will not feel foreign. It will feel familiar, even if it is new. There will be a quiet knowing, a sense of rightness that settles into your spirit. You may not have every answer, but you will not feel confused. You may feel stretched, but you will not feel scattered. That is how recognition works. I am not hiding your path from you. I am revealing it at the pace that allows clarity to grow rather than fear. If I showed you everything at once, doubt would try to intervene. So I show you enough to take the next step, and I trust you to respond. You have proven you can. You may still question yourself at first. That is human. But beneath the questions there will be calm. Beneath the uncertainty, there will be trust. You will notice that you are not forcing yourself forward or pulling yourself back. You are simply moving, steady and aware. I have been training your perception through contrast. You have experienced what is not aligned so you can recognize what is. You have felt the weight of choices that drained you so you can feel the relief of what supports you. Discernment is often learned by experience, and you have gained much. You'll not expect recognition to come through pressure. Pressure pushes you away from clarity. Recognition comes through peace. It comes through a sense of belonging. It comes through the feeling that you do not need to become someone else to receive what is being offered. You will recognize it because you can remain yourself. There may be voices around you offering opinions, advice, or caution. Listen with respect, but trust what resonates deeply and calmly within you. Others can guide, but they cannot see with your eyes or feel with your heart. I speak to you directly, and my guidance carries peace, not confusion. You are not required to be fearless to recognize what is meant for you. You only need to be present. Fear may whisper, but it will not dominate. Doubt may appear, but it will not overpower. Recognition will come with a sense of grounding that fear cannot replicate. I know you have been afraid of making the wrong choice because you care about honoring your life and purpose. That care has sharpened your awareness, not weakened it. You are more capable of recognizing alignment now than you were before. You have grown into discernment. When the moment arrives, you will not feel rushed. You will not feel cornered. You will not feel as though you must decide immediately or lose everything. What is meant for you will allow space for confirmation. It will respect your process. It will wait for your yes without pressure. You may recognize it through peace, through relief, through a sense of clarity you cannot fully explain. You may recognize it through the absence of anxiety. You may recognize it through the feeling that you can breathe again. These are not small signs. They are confirmations. Trust the awareness you have been cultivating. Trust the calm that has been growing within you. You will not miss what hath been prepared for you. I am guiding you too closely for that. Rest in this truth, my beloved child. You will recognize what is meant for you. And when you do, you will step forward not in fear, but in confidence, knowing you are moving in alignment with what I have lovingly prepared for your life. My beloved child, as you move closer to what I have prepared for you, there is something I want you to guard carefully. Not with fear, not with tension, but with awareness. Stay open. Stay soft. The world will try to teach you that strength means hardness, that survival requires walls, that wisdom demands emotional distance. But I am teaching you a different kind of strength, one that protects without closing, one that remains tender without becoming fragile. You have been hurt before, and because of that, you learned how to shield your heart. That shield helped you survive. It gave you space to heal. It allowed you to regain stability. What once protected you must not become what limits you. You are not meant to live permanently guarded. You are meant to live discerning, not defensive. Softness does not mean you are unwise. Openness does not mean you are naive. A soft heart can still be strong. An open spirit can still have boundaries. What I am asking of you now is not to expose yourself recklessly, but to remain receptive to what is good, true, and aligned. There is a danger in becoming so cautious that you stop receiving, so protected that you stop connecting, so guarded that you stop believing good things can arrive without a cost. I do not want your past pain to decide how much joy you allow yourself in the future. Staying open allows growth to continue. Staying soft allows compassion to flow. When the heart hardens, it may feel safer, but it also becomes heavier. Hardness weighs you down. Softness allows you to move freely, to respond with clarity instead of reaction. I know you fear being hurt again. That fear is understandable, but fear is not meant to lead you. Discernment will guide you better. Discernment allows you to recognize what is safe without closing off what is nourishing. And you have been developing discernment carefully, step by step. What I am bringing into your life requires openness. It will invite you to trust again, to hope again, to engage fully rather than half-heartedly. You cannot receive fully if you remain braced for disappointment. You cannot experience peace if you are always preparing for loss. Staying soft does not mean ignoring red flags. It means not assuming everything is a threat. It means allowing yourself to feel joy without immediately questioning how long it will last. It means permitting yourself to be present rather than guarded. You are learning how to be wise without being cold, how to be strong without being closed, how to protect your heart without imprisoning it. This balance is essential for what lies ahead. What is coming will flourish in openness, not suspicion. I am not asking you to return to who you were before you were hurt. You are not meant to be unguarded in the same way. You are meant to be wiser, steadier, more aware. But wisdom should soften you, not harden you. True growth expands the heart rather than shrinking it. When you notice yourself closing, pause gently. Ask what you are protecting yourself from. Ask whether the threat is real or remembered. Many fears speak from memory rather than reality. I am helping you separate the two. You will encounter moments where staying open feels uncomfortable, where softness feels risky. But those moments are invitations, not traps. You are learning how to trust without surrendering yourself, how to love without losing yourself, how to receive without fear. Do not let disappointment teach you to expect the worst. Let wisdom teach you to recognize the best. What is meant for you will not require you to harden your heart to survive it. It will meet your softness with respect, your openness with care. Stay open, my beloved child. Stay soft. This is not weakness. This is readiness. This is the posture of someone who is prepared to receive without fear, to grow without resistance, and to step into what is coming with a heart that is both protected and alive. I am with you as you learn this balance. I will not allow your openness to harm you. I will guide you, protect you, and strengthen you as you walk forward with a heart that remains gentle, wise, and free. My beloved child, I know how carefully you have learned to protect your hope. I know there were moments when believing felt dangerous, when hope seemed like an invitation to disappointment. So you became cautious. You believed quietly, halfway, with conditions attached. You told yourself it was safer not to expect too much. But listen to me now with a steady heart. Now is the time to believe again. Not the fragile belief you once had, the kind that shattered easily when things went wrong. I am calling you into a deeper belief, one that has been shaped by experience, strengthened by waiting, and grounded in truth. This belief does not ignore reality. It understands it. It has walked through disappointment and learned that hope can survive it. Believing again does not mean pretending the past did not happen. It means refusing to let the past dictate what is possible now. You have learned discernment. You have gained wisdom. You have healed in ways you did not even notice at first. This is not blind faith. This is mature trust. I know there is still a voice inside you that whispers caution. It reminds you of times things did not work out. It urges you not to get your hopes up too high. But that voice is shaped by memory, not by destiny. Memory teaches lessons, but it does not get to decide your future. What I am asking of you now is not reckless belief. It is courageous openness. It is the willingness to say, I am ready to hope again, without demanding guarantees. Hope does not need certainty to exist. It needs willingness. You are standing at a moment of choice. You can remain guarded, safe, and emotionally distant, where you can allow yourself to believe that something good can unfold without costing you your peace. Belief is not just about outcomes. It is about posture. It is about how you show up to life. Believing again will change how you walk forward. You will notice a lightness return, a sense of curiosity rather than dread, a quiet excitement that does not depend on immediate results. This belief will not rush you. It will steady you. I know you fear disappointment, but disappointment does not destroy you anymore. You have survived it. You have learned how to stand back up. That means hope is no longer as risky as it once felt. You are stronger now, wiser now, more grounded now. If these words are awakening something in your spirit, I ask you to respond. Bless this message with a like so it can reach others who are afraid to hope again. Share it with someone whose faith has grown quiet. And I ask you especially to hype this video, so it can rise and touch hearts that are still holding back from believing. When you do this, you are helping courage spread. Belief is a doorway, not to perfection, but to possibility. And possibility is where growth, healing, and purpose meet. I am not asking you to imagine the outcome. I am asking you to trust the journey. Now is the time to believe again, not because everything is clear, but because you are ready. Ready to hope without fear. Ready to trust without pressure. Ready to receive without suspicion. I am with you as you take this step. I will not let your belief be wasted. I will meet it with guidance, protection, and care. You do not need to force yourself to believe. Simply allow it to return, gently, naturally, in its time. Now is the time, my beloved child. Believe again. My beloved child, as I call you to believe again, I also invite you to act in faith. When you support this message, you are helping hope rise in places where hearts have grown weary. I say to you, those who sow in faith will reap in abundance, and this seed is living and active. This work continues so my voice can reach those who feel forgotten. Give now through Super Thanks membership, or the PayPal link placed in the description and shown by QR code. I bless what you release, and I command you, step forward and sow, for this is a moment of obedience, not delay. My beloved child, I want to quiet a fear that has lingered in you longer than you realize. The fear that good things never last, that joy fades, that peace is temporary, that anything meaningful will eventually slip through your fingers. You learn this fear through experience, through moments where what you cherished did not remain. But listen to me now with a settled heart. What I give will last. I do not give in haste. I do not build on fragile foundations. I do not offer blessings that require constant fear to maintain them. What comes from me is rooted, steady, and designed to endure seasons of change. It is not sustained by effort alone, but by alignment. You have known things that looked promising but dissolved under pressure. Things that required you to constantly prove yourself to keep them. Things that brought excitement, but no stability. Those experiences taught you to brace yourself even in moments of happiness. But I am teaching you a new pattern now. What I give does not require you to live on edge. Lasting does not mean unchanging. It means resilient. It means capable of growing without losing its essence. It means able to move through difficulty without collapsing. What I place into your life will not be threatened by every challenge or shaken by every doubt. It will have depth. I know you have learned to expect loss. You learn to enjoy quietly, cautiously, as if joy must be rationed to survive disappointment. But that posture is not required anymore. You are not being set up for another lesson in endurance. You are being invited into something stable. What I give will not require you to abandon yourself to keep it. You will not have to betray your values, suppress your needs, or silence your truth. It will meet you where you are and grow with you as you continue to become. That is how you will know it is lasting. Lasting does not mean perfect. There will still be learning. There will still be moments of adjustment. But there will not be constant instability. There will not be the persistent fear that everything could fall apart at any moment. Peace will remain, even as things evolve. I am not interested in giving you something impressive that fades quickly. I am interested in giving you something meaningful that strengthens over time. Something that becomes more valuable as you grow into it. Something that does not exhaust you, but supports you. You may still feel cautious at first. That is natural. Your nervous system remembers loss. But as time passes, you will notice that the fear begins to loosen. That you are no longer scanning for signs of collapse. That you are able to rest without waiting for the other shoe to drop. That is lasting peace taking root. What I give will outgrow the version of you that once struggled to hold on to hope. It will meet the version of you that is steadier, wiser, and more grounded. You will not have to rush to enjoy it before it disappears. You will be able to live within it fully. Lasting does not always arrive dramatically. Sometimes it enters quietly and proves itself through consistency. Through showing up again and again. Through remaining when circumstances shift. Through deepening rather than fading. This is the kind of gift I give. I know you fear being disappointed again. But disappointment no longer defines you. It does not control your expectations the way it once did. You are learning how to trust without naivety, how to receive without fear. That maturity allows you to hold what lasts. You are not being given a temporary solution to soothe you for a moment. You are being given something that will walk with you into the future. Something that can withstand growth, change, and time. Something that will not require you to constantly look over your shoulder. Release the belief that good things are always taken away. That belief was shaped by pain, not by truth. Truth is this. What I give will last because it is built on purpose, not impulse. On love, not convenience. On alignment, not pressure. Rest in this promise, my beloved child. You are not stepping into something fragile. You are stepping into something enduring. And as you live within it, you will discover that lasting does not mean dull or limiting. It means safe, meaningful, and free. What I give will last, and you will not have to be afraid anymore. My beloved child, there is something I want you to hear without doubt, without hesitation, without trying to argue it away. I am proud of you. Not because of what you have achieved, not because of how strong you appear, not because of how well you held everything together. I am proud of you because you kept going when it would have been easier to give up. I saw you in the moments no one applauded. I saw you choose kindness when you were exhausted. I saw you choose honesty when it cost you comfort. I saw you stay when walking away felt simpler. I saw you get back up quietly, without making a scene, without demanding recognition. Those moments mattered to me more than you know. You have often measured yourself by what you did not accomplish. You replaying missed chances, mistakes, and delays. You looked at your life and focused on where you thought you fell short. But I was watching something different. I was watching your perseverance. I was watching your willingness to grow. I was watching your heart remain open even when disappointment tried to harden it. I am proud of how you learned from what hurt you instead of letting it define you. Proud of how you questioned without becoming cynical. Proud of how you doubted without losing your capacity to hope. Proud of how you kept listening for my voice even when it felt quiet. You did not always get it right. You did not always feel confident. You did not always know what to do next. But you showed up anyway. You tried again. You reflected. You adjusted. That kind of humility is rare, and it is powerful. It creates a foundation that cannot be shaken easily. There were times you were harder on yourself than anyone else ever was. You held yourself to impossible standards. You punished yourself internally for not being faster, stronger, clearer. But I never spoke to you that way. I never demanded perfection. I never withheld love until you improved. I was proud of you even when you felt unfinished. You may not see how far you have come because you are standing inside the journey. But I see the distance clearly. I see the growth in how you respond. I see the maturity in how you choose. I see the strength in how you pause instead of react. These are signs of deep transformation. I am proud of how you learned to sit with discomfort rather than run from it. Proud of how you faced your own thoughts and emotions with honesty. Proud of how you allowed yourself to heal instead of pretending nothing affected you. That courage takes more strength than pretending to be unaffected. I'm proud of you for continuing to believe there was more, even when evidence felt thin. Proud of you for listening to this message right now, for staying open, for not closing your heart completely. That openness is not weakness. It is bravery. You do not need to earn my pride. You do not need to impress me. You do not need to prove your worth through achievement or endurance. My pride in you is rooted in relationship, not performance. You are my child, and that alone is enough. As you move forward, I want you to carry this truth with you. You are not walking toward approval. You are walking from it. You are not trying to become worthy. You already are. This understanding will free you from striving and allow you to move with confidence rather than fear. Let go of the voice that tells you it is never enough. Let go of the belief that you must do more to be valued. You have been seen. You have been known. You have been appreciated in ways you could not perceive at the time. I am proud of the way you kept your heart alive. Proud of the way you chose growth over bitterness. Proud of the way you stayed when things were unclear. Proud of who you are becoming, not just who you have been. Receive this now, my beloved child. Let it settle deeply. You do not need to brush it off or minimize it. I am proud of you. And as you continue forward, you will begin to see yourself through that same lens, with compassion, respect, and quiet confidence. You are not invisible to me. You never have been. And I have been proud of you every step of the way. My beloved child, there is a truth unfolding in your life that you may not fully recognize yet. You are becoming. Not arriving all at once, not transforming overnight, but steadily, faithfully, moment by moment. Becoming is quieter than arrival. It does not announce itself loudly. It reveals itself gently, through small shifts that accumulate into something profound. You once believed becoming meant fixing what was broken, erasing what hurt, or turning into someone entirely different. But becoming is not about abandoning who you were. It is about integrating what you have lived, refining what you carry, and stepping more fully into who you have always been beneath the layers of fear and expectation. You are becoming someone who trusts yourself more deeply. Someone who pauses before reacting. Someone who listens inwardly instead of chasing every external voice. These changes may feel subtle, but they are powerful. They shape how you move through the world, how you choose, how you love. Becoming does not always feel productive. Some days it feels like standing still. Some days it feels like questioning everything. But even those moments are part of the process. Growth is not linear. It expands, contracts, revisits old places with new understanding. You are not regressing when you reflect. You are integrating. You may still feel unfinished, and that can be uncomfortable. But unfinished does not mean unworthy. It means alive. It means in motion. I am not rushing you toward a final version of yourself. I am walking with you through the unfolding. Becoming is sacred because it allows grace to work alongside effort. You are becoming someone who no longer needs constant validation. Someone who recognizes peace as a guide. Someone who can sit with uncertainty without losing balance. These qualities were not given instantly. They were formed through patience, through reflection, through choosing honesty over avoidance. There was a time you believed you had to arrive before you could rest, that you had to achieve before you could feel at ease. But becoming teaches you a different rhythm. It teaches you to rest while growing, to move while remaining grounded. This balance will sustain you. You are becoming more compassionate with yourself. You no longer punish yourself for learning. You no longer shame yourself for needing time. You are beginning to speak to yourself with the same kindness you offer others. This inner shift changes everything. Becoming also means letting go. Letting go of versions of yourself that were shaped by survival rather than truth. Letting go of expectations that never fit. Letting go of timelines that create an unnecessary pressure. Release is part of growth. You cannot carry everything forward. You may not yet see the full picture of who you are becoming, and that is intentional. If you saw it all at once, you might try to force the process or compare yourself again. Instead, I invite you to stay present, to notice who you are today compared to who you were before. That is where evidence of growth lies. You are becoming someone who can receive good things without fear. Someone who can enjoy moments without bracing for loss. Someone who can believe without needing guarantees. This openness is not naive. It is grounded in wisdom. Do not rush becoming. Do not criticize yourself for not being further along. Growth unfolds at the pace of safety, not pressure. I am not disappointed in your process. I am invested in it. Every step you take, even the uncertain ones, is part of your becoming. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are not stagnant. You are becoming exactly as you need to, in the order that serves you best. Trust this process. Trust yourself within it. One day you will look back and realize how much changed without you noticing. How strength replaced fear. How clarity replaced confusion. How peace replaced striving. That realization will not come with surprise, but with gratitude. For now, remain patient with yourself. Remain open. Remain willing. Becoming is not something you have to achieve. It is something you are already doing. And I am with you in every stage of it, guiding, supporting, and loving you as you continue to unfold into who you were always meant to be. My beloved child, I know there is a part of you that hesitates when something good approaches. A quiet instinct that braces itself, not out of ingratitude, but out of memory. You have learned to be careful with joy, to hold it lightly, to expect it might slip away. So when blessing draws near, your heart tightens instead of opening. Listen to me now with gentleness. Receive this without fear. Fear learned its language in your past. It taught you that good things come with conditions, that happiness must be earned and maintained, that peace is temporary. Fear told you to stay alert, to stay guarded, to stay ready for loss. But fear is no longer your teacher. Wisdom is. And wisdom knows the difference between caution and resistance. Receiving does not make you vulnerable in the way you once were. You are not the same person who was hurt before. You are more aware now, more grounded, more discerning. You are capable of receiving without surrendering your boundaries, without abandoning yourself, without losing your footing. Receiving does not undo your growth. It confirms it. You may feel unworthy at times, as if good things require justification. You may ask yourself why you should receive when others are still waiting. But worthiness is not a competition. It is not measured by comparison. What I give you does not take from another. It flows according to purpose, not scarcity. Fear will try to convince you that receiving means tempting loss, that if you enjoy something too much, it will be taken. But that belief was shaped by pain, not by truth. Truth is this: you are allowed to receive without bracing for impact. You are allowed to enjoy without punishment. Receiving is an act of trust. It says, I believe that what is given can be held. It says, I believe I am safe enough to open my hands. That trust does not come from naivety. It comes from healing. And you have healed more than you realize. I know you sometimes sabotage good moments by overthinking them. You analyze what could go wrong. You search for hidden costs. You prepare for disappointment before it arrives. But this vigilance no longer serves you. It keeps you from fully living. What I am bringing requires presence, not prediction. Receiving without fear means allowing yourself to be present in the moment, to feel gratitude without anxiety, to rest without guilt, to accept support without questioning your worth. This openness is not reckless. It is aligned. You have carried responsibility for so long that receiving feels unfamiliar. You learned how to give, how to endure, how to manage. But now I am teaching you how to allow. Allow joy to enter. Allow peace to settle. Allow blessing to remain. What is coming does not require you to be perfect to keep it. It does not demand constant vigilance. It will not punish you for relaxing. It will meet you with steadiness and invite you to stay. Fear may still speak at first. It may whisper old warnings. But you do not have to obey it. You can acknowledge it and choose differently. You can say, I see you, but you no longer lead me. And as you practice receiving without fear, fear will lose its voice. You are not tempting fate by receiving. You are honoring the process you walked through to get here. You are acknowledging the growth, the healing, the readiness that has formed within you. You are saying yes to life again. Do not shrink back when blessing approaches. Do not tighten your grip or hold your breath. Let your shoulders relax. Let your heart open. Let yourself receive what aligns with you. This is not a test you can fail. This is an invitation you can accept. Receiving will not undo you. It will support you. It will nourish you. It will confirm that the waiting had purpose. Trust me in this moment. You are safe to receive. You are ready to receive. And what you are receiving is not fragile. It is steady, intentional, and meant to stay. Receive this without fear, my beloved child. Let it come to you fully. Let it rest in your life, and allow yourself to live within it, free from the weight of expectation, grounded in trust, and open to the goodness you no longer need to question. My beloved child, there are moments when truth does not arrive as noise or spectacle, but as a quiet certainty that settles deep within the soul. This moment is one of those times. You have listened, reflected, and felt something stir inside you that goes beyond emotion. That stirring is not coincidence. This is your confirmation. You have asked for signs in the past. You asked for reassurance that you were not imagining things, that your waiting had meaning, that your life was still held with intention. Often you looked outward for proof, expecting clarity to arrive through sudden change or visible breakthrough. But confirmation does not always come through events. Sometimes it comes through recognition, through a deep inner knowing that says, "This is true. This is for me." What you are feeling now is alignment. Not excitement that fades quickly, but steadiness that remains. Not pressure to act immediately, but peace that allows you to breathe. Confirmation carries calm. It does not ray you or frighten you. It reassures you that you are seen, guided, and held. You may be tempted to question this moment, to analyze it until it loses its clarity. That is what fear tries to do when peace arrives. Fear looks for reasons to doubt because doubt feels familiar. But you do not need to dismantle this moment. You are allowed to receive it as it is. This confirmation is not telling you that everything will suddenly be easy. It is telling you that everything you have walked through has led you here. It is telling you that your intuition has been sharpened, your heart has been steadied, and your spirit has been prepared. You are not lost. You are not wandering without direction. You are aligned. You have been asking whether you should trust yourself again, whether you should believe that something good can unfold without hidden cost, whether your hope is safe now. This is your answer. Yes. Not because there will never be challenges, but because you are no longer who you once were. You are capable of navigating what comes next with wisdom and grace. Confirmation does not remove responsibility. It brings clarity. It helps you move forward without second-guessing every step. It allows you to stop looking backward for permission to live. It gives you the confidence to continue without needing constant validation. You may still encounter moments of uncertainty. That does not invalidate this confirmation. Growth always includes moments of question. But underneath those moments, this knowing will remain. It will anchor you. It will remind you of what you felt here, of what resonated deeply and quietly. This is not about following a rigid plan. It is about trusting a direction. You do not need to know every detail to honor this confirmation. You only need to stay open, attentive, and willing to take the next step when it presents itself. I know you have been cautious with belief. I know you have learned to protect your heart. But confirmation is not asking you to throw caution away. It is asking you to release paralysis, to stop waiting for perfect certainty before moving, to trust that you are supported as you go. You are not making this up. You are not being misled. You are responding to truth that resonates because it aligns with who you are becoming. I speak to you in ways your spirit can recognize, not through fear, but through peace. Let this confirmation settle. Do not rush to explain it to others. Some truths are meant to be carried quietly at first. Let it guide you gently. Let it remind you when doubt tries to speak louder than wisdom. This moment is not an ending. It is a marker, a reminder that you are on the right path, even if the path is still unfolding. You do not need to hurry. You do not need to prove anything. You only need to remain faithful to what you know is true. So breathe deeply now. Release the tension of waiting for another sign. You have received what you asked for, just not in the way you expected. This peace, this clarity, this inner assurance is your confirmation. Hold it with gratitude. Carry it with humility. And walk forward knowing that you are not guessing anymore. You are responding. This is your confirmation, my beloved child. And I will continue to guide you, step by step, as the path ahead opens with purpose, peace, and trust. My beloved child, we have come to the place where everything I have been speaking to you settles into stillness. Not an ending filled with loss, but a completion filled with peace. You have listened with an open heart, and I have watched something soften within you. This moment is not meant to overwhelm you. It is meant to rest on you like a gentle assurance. I want you to know this clearly. You are held, you are guided, and you are not stepping forward alone. Everything you have walked through has led you here. Every delay, every quiet season, every moment of doubt and endurance has shaped you for what lies ahead. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was accidental. Even the things you wish had never happened were woven into your becoming with care and intention. You are not standing at the end of your story. You are standing at a place of alignment. What I have prepared for you is not fragile. It does not depend on your constant effort to survive. It will grow with you, steady and secure. You will not need to chase it. You will not need to force it. It will unfold naturally as you continue to walk in truth, wisdom, and openness. I bless your mind with clarity. You will not be ruled by confusion or fear. When questions arise, you will beat them with calm rather than panic. I bless your heart with peace that remains even when circumstances shift. You will no longer be controlled by what once unsettled you. I bless your steps with guidance. You will recognize what is aligned and release what is not without regret. Doors meant for you will open without strain. Paths not meant for you will lose their appeal. You will move forward without needing to constantly look back. I bless your relationships with depth and safety. You will connect without losing yourself. You will be supported without being diminished. You will no longer feel the need to perform to be loved. What is meant to walk with you will meet you in truth and respect. I bless your work, your calling, and your purpose. What you give will matter. What you build will last. What you touch will be influenced not by force but by the quiet strength you carry. You will contribute in ways that feel natural, meaningful, and fulfilling. I bless your rest. You will no longer feel guilty for pausing. You will understand that rest is not weakness but wisdom. From rest, you will move with greater clarity and strength. I bless your future with hope that is no longer fragile. You will believe again without fear. You will receive without suspicion. You will enjoy without bracing for loss. You are safe to live fully now. Remember this when doubt tries to return. You are not forgotten. You are not late. You are not lacking. You are exactly where you need to be to receive what has been prepared for you with love. Carry this peace with you. Let it guide you gently. And whenever you feel uncertain, return to this truth. I am with you. I have something special for you. And I will walk with you through every step of what comes next. Amen. My beloved child, as this blessing rests upon you, I speak to you as one whose obedience can help carry this light to many. When you give, you are sowing living seed into hearts that are still waiting to hear my voice. I declare to you now, what you place in my hands, I multiply beyond measure. This mission continues so hope can reach the weary, the forgotten, and the searching. I am inviting you in this holy moment to act. Support through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link found in the description and shown by QR code. I bless your giving as a prophetic act, and I command you, release the seed now and watch the harvest speak.